Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope we're all well and dandy. A match preview for Atalanta, who come to Anfield tomorrow night in the Champions League. And if we win that one, then yes, we do go through to the next round of the Champions League. Need to discuss it with a couple of blokes who must know their stuff about football. Of course, it's the double D combo, Darren and Doyle. How are we, fellas?
Good evening,
lads. All right, boys.
How are we? We well? Yes, all good, man. All good.
Yeah.
Darren, you good?
all good in the hood.
My sound's a bit mad right now, so if you're asking me questions, can't quite hear them right now, but it'll come back in a moment. It'll come back.
Sure, it will. Right, let's talk about this one. Some news to come out initially from the press conference today, which I believe is still going now. This something that I've just picked up from James Pearce, who says Firmino absent from training today. I think this is also a confirmation. He actually tweeted just after that it is an injury. So a bit weird, and it would be good to know what's going on there. Some other news that's come in today on this training session is that Mohamed Salah is free and ready to play this game tomorrow night.
Woo!
That's at 8 o'clock kickoff at Anfield. Doyle, we'll start with you. I mean, we can actually get up Atalanta's form here as well. In the last 6 games, you can see the 10th in Serie A, only 2 wins from the last 6. And obviously you have to squeeze in a big 5-0 defeat in that as well from the last time we played them only a couple of weeks ago. So how do you see this one? What kind of team? We'll get into a lineup prediction shortly, but how do you see this one?
Well, I've got a theory on Atalanta, and my theory is when you've got a good attacking side and you come out of nowhere, everyone's surprised by them. So when you play good attacking football, you don't know what they're going to do. They've had a season now where they've played really well and they've played really good attacking football, so everybody knows that's what they're going to do. So I feel like this season they've done not as well because of that reason. Can you see? That's why they're 10th. Yeah. That's why they're not doing as well in the Champions League, because people know that's what they're going to do now, so they can counter it. And unfortunately, I don't think they've got the players to be able to adapt their system to something else. So I honestly feel like it's just not a comfy game, but we'll win tomorrow. Quite comfortable.
Yeah, Darren, do you agree with that there? A comfortable win?
I hope he's right. Yeah, look, I think Atalanta, what they got, 98 Serie A goals last season, and let's not forget, they did finish third last season, but they were also on a title challenge. Come the end of the season, I think there was only 5-6 points in the difference between them finishing third and champion Juventus. They're a very explosive, strong side, and we've seen that when we went to play them, but like the difference with the Premier League and Serie A is it's levels ahead, and Liverpool are levels ahead of Atalanta. I think tomorrow night is a good chance to rotate. I was just saying, you put up there, Alex, Bobby Firmino didn't train today, and it's not an injury, which is great news. Yep. He's played a lot of football internationally and for Liverpool. I only said after fan cam on Sunday night after we beat Leicester that he plays a lot of games. He puts himself available. He wants to play a lot. His attitude is second to none. It's just a chance to give him a break. A couple of weeks ago, we were all screaming for him to get a break and play Jota ahead of him. Didn't quite happen. Both played together. Hopefully, that's just what it is. It's tactical, but I'm confident of beating them tomorrow, but I'm also confident that we'll make changes, and I think we need to with the position we're in.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. I think we are going to see a weaker team. However, Salah is the type of player that strikes me as someone who really doesn't want to miss any game, no matter if it's a 5-a-side, 6-a-side, or whatever. He's going to want to play tomorrow. He actually has the opportunity to go further in front of Steven Gerrard as our highest European goal scorer. I think that's
madness.
Right. So,
madness.
I mean, already that's just insane numbers, isn't it, from Mo? Let us know in the comments what you think the lineup's going to be tomorrow night. The Anfield Talk said, can you see our record at Anfield as in like what you've done with Atalanta a minute ago? I mean, it's just full of greens, isn't it? Full of W's, no red bits, so it'd be quite boring to be fair. So yeah, definitely watch that. But in terms of a lineup then, lads, let's talk about that, because Alisson, for me, even though this seems like a less important game than the league games, it's still a game where, listen, if we lost at Anfield tomorrow, we'd still be hurting about it, wouldn't we? And for that reason, and I hope you'd all agree, Alisson has to start in goal.
I think I said this earlier in one of the last ones. He needs to start every game, lads. He's that player that needs to play every single game, like Virgil van Dijk would, like Joe Gomez would. He's that lieutenant in the team that you need to be consistent. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what game it is, unless it's like a crappy, beg your pardon, unless it's like an FA Cup or something. I know people fume about the FA Cup. Unless it's like the FA Cup or something, then I want to see him in the team every game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Darren, you the same?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Alisson will start. He hasn't played a lot. You look at this season, obviously Adrian's been in and out of the team. Alisson's been out more than what's expected. So I think since the start, the first game last season against Norwich, if you go back to it, was the game we won 4-1. Alisson come off. Yeah. He was out for a couple of weeks. Yeah, same as myself actually. And since then, he's had a couple of injuries. He's had his fair share of injuries. He hasn't played for Brazil, which is good when he went in the international, which will suit every Liverpool fan, of course. So I think, yeah, play Alisson. He's so commanding. He's a sweeper keeper. He's just deadly. When you just compare him to Adrian, any other keeper out there, I don't think there's a lot of top keepers out there anymore. But I think when you look at Alisson, he's second to none. Exceptional keeper, has to start, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd agree. Let's go into the defence. George here says that he would rather play Tsimikas at left-back instead of Robbo. I think Klopp will prioritise the league and we can't afford more injuries to the first-team players. Like I said at the top of the show, if we win tomorrow night, we're into the next round anyway. But is tomorrow night a place where you can maybe see Tsimikas start at left-back? I wouldn't be too mad at that at all, to be fair.
I'd like to see Robbo have a rest, 100%. He's just come back from Scotland. He's been running. He runs mad when he plays a football game. You can't tell him not to. So let's protect him. Just give him a rest for this game. Just the same way that we've protected Bobby, I think, in training and not let him train. We've just said have a rest, lad, because you need one. So I think that's what I wouldn't be bothered by that. I'd like to see that, to be honest.
Darren?
Yeah, it's about time, I think. Anfield, European night, under the floodlights, get your debut. And it'll be interesting to see how he plays. Will he play similar to Robertson up and down that line? Will he be another assist king? Will he be really stiff, staying competition to Robbo? I hope so. So it'll be interesting. I haven't seen him, lads. I've seen him in a pre-season friendly. Was it against Salzburg? I thought he played very well. He's played a lot for Scotland. For Greece, I should say. I'm saying Andy Robertson there. So it'll be interesting to see. I did say during the night after this again, so I don't be repeating myself. He played against Adama Traore at the end of last season in the Europa League for Olympiacos against Wolves, and I thought in that game he was exceptional. I know that time we were in for Jamal Lewis, and I was talking to a friend about the transfer. He was asked what you think of Liverpool in for Lewis. I says I would love if we went for someone like Tsimikas. I'd only seen a little bit of him for Greece and Olympiacos, and I was very impressed from him. So as a backup for Robbo, we soon will find out how good he is, but I'm very excited to see him, and I think it's a game he has to start. We seen Robbo last week got a knock for Scotland. We were all a bit anxious. What, is he going to miss the game against Leicester? He was back. Rest him this week, bring him back for Brighton Saturday. And let's see what Tsimikas can offer. He could be another, again, exceptional fullback.
This is the point of buying players like this, bro. This is the whole point of buying Tsimikas was for games like on tomorrow. That's the whole point of I see him for.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
The Anfield talk there saying Robbo needs to have a chill at home. I mean, we're talking about Tsimikas playing left. I'll watch him start Milner at left back. But we'll all go Tsimikas at left back. Then centre backs. This is one where could we see a Reece Williams come back into the team?
I don't know this is the dodgy one. I don't know what Klopp's going to want to do. Is he going to want to play Matip and Fab just so they can get a bit more chemistry together? Because it's going to be one of them type of games anyway where we need a bit of experience in there. We don't need to just throw all kids on. But because I feel like we're going to have a Curtis Jones. We may have a Nico Williams. We may have something like this. So I feel like I probably want to see Matip and Fabinho. It hurts me to say that because I'm scared that Matip will get injured. But probably need it, lads. So I'm going to say them two.
Matip and Fabinho. Darren, who do we reckon?
Well, we seen Matip at the press conference today with Jurgen. Normally, that's a sign of he's going to not just play some part, but start the game. I can't remember when someone was out at a press conference in the Champions League and didn't start. So he might. I know Reece Williams got a hip injury, didn't he, on international? So it's a bit touch and go whether he'll make it. So the talk is it's 50-50. Jurgen hasn't announced whether at an official he's going to play or not. But I would like personally to see Reece Williams and Fabinho play. But it doesn't really bother me if Matip plays either, because Matip doesn't play international now anymore, so he'd be well rested. He's had his injury. But me personally would rather see Reece Williams and Fabinho play. I think Fabinho, every time he plays a centre-back, we keep a clean sheet. That's a good omen going into it. Again, it's hard to predict. We know Nat Phillips won't play because he's not registered in the Champions League team. So it's not going to be easy. I would probably say, after seeing Matip today at the press conference, he's going to play alongside. But the question is, will it be with Reece Williams or Fabinho? I'm okay with both, but I just don't want any more injuries there. I just think Saturday is such a big game, lads. Like, I mean, regardless of the result tomorrow, we can't be overtaken in the Champions League group. The Premier League is much more competitive. It's over 38 games. The Champions League group, we can put loads into and still go out in the last 16. So it's a bit of a, what do you do? I don't know. It's a tough one. I would go with Reece Williams and Fabinho if I had choice with Tsimikas at left full, but all shall be revealed in just over 24 hours, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of you getting your starting 11s in. Thank you for that. We'll go over some now. Kiefer ONG goes Alisson, Nico, Reece, Nat Phillips, Costa Tsimikas as the back five. Ginny, Milner, Minamino in a more central position, looks like, with Mane, Jota and Salah. But then Stephen here says Alisson, Nico, Fabinho, Matip or Reece, Tsimikas, Ginny, Milner, Jones, Jota, Firmino, Minamino. So it seems like it's going to be one of those games where almost anyone could get a chance. It could even be the type of match where if you are going to put a team like that together, we could see a lot of goals, especially with Salah being so hungry still. Jota obviously scored a hat-trick against these just a couple of weeks ago. More news today about Diogo Jota, lads, and it was this that came in today. It's just been announced the player of the month.
Brilliant.
Diogo Jota.
Quality.
Yeah. 4 games at Anfield, 4 goals. And it's looking very, very bright for this lad. And I don't think anyone really, out of all 3 of us here anyway, could have quite predicted he'd start this well.
Nobody, lad. We all thought Thiago was going to come in and be that player, lad. And no doubt he probably is going to be, but Diogo Jota, lad, mad.
Yeah, it's again another kind of signing that came in that no one really thought was going to be as explosive as he is. Like, you see Mane, Salah sign up at Liverpool, and with Klopp in there was obviously a couple of question marks, a few eyebrows raised, but Jota's come in, 23, lads, explosive. He's had 8 goals now, 4 in the Champions League, 4 in the Premier League. He hasn't started all of them, and he surprised me. I'm not going to lie, I'll be totally honest. He has surprised me. I knew he'd a lot in his locker, but at 23, he's going levels ahead, lads. He's going to be exceptional. And how many times have we been on here after fan cams and games and even before games talking about we need someone to challenge that. The drop off of Salah from Bobby and Mane, he wasn't there. But you're just confident now when Jota comes in, you just think, yeah, he's right up there with them, he'll do it. He's just so calm, reassured on the pitch, quiet. He seems real quiet, just gets in there. He's so strong, so quick, blistering, explosive. All the good words you can use, it's him. He's just unbelievable. So hopefully he keeps doing what he's doing, lads, and keeps scoring, because the most important thing is goals, and goals win your games. And so far so good for Diogo Jota.
Yeah, anything to add to that, Doyle?
Love the guy, lads. Watch it. Do you know what it is? Well, he scores goals, but there was a particular run that he done in the last game. Yeah, he cut through the middle of the midfield and then run round and then slipped it in. And it was just the way he's so direct when he plays football. It almost seems like since he's come to Liverpool, he's playing with better players, so they've enhanced his game, because he was already a good player at Wolves. Let's not make no mistake, and Wolves are a good team as well, lads. But as soon as he comes to Liverpool, his games just went already, lads. It happens so many players when they come to Liverpool, the game just goes dink. It just does it, lad, and that's what's special about this Liverpool team, or the coaching. They find talent and they develop it. Yeah, instantly sometimes.
we seen it with Wijnaldum, didn't we? Andy Robertson, Salah, Mane, even from Firmino. Like, it's no coincidence. It's obviously
it's not a secret, is it? I think there is one man who is quite responsible for it all. But let's get back into the lineup prediction. So that's Tsimikas left back, Alisson in goal. I'm actually going to go with Fabinho and Matip. I think he'll go with for this one, just because I think Reece Williams might not make it. However, it is still a huge risk playing both of them two in a game that isn't a Premier League game. So fingers crossed, no injuries. Right back, let's all agree, I think, obviously, Nico Williams. He didn't play on Saturday, but James Milner was probably man of the match on Sunday, sorry.
Yeah.
So no gripes about that. But James definitely won't mind stepping aside for young Nico to fill in as an actual right back, of course. Midfield, I mean, Gini Wijnaldum pretty much starts most games, doesn't he? So I think we should go with him. Curtis Jones as well for this one, Doyle. I know you were really excited about him.
Yeah, do you know what, lad? It warms me heart, lad, to see Scousers that do well. And Curtis Jones, right? I was watching him come through. Like, even so, he's been one of them type of kids that's been in like the Liverpool. You know, everyone's known who he is since he was a kid and stuff like that. And everyone was hyping him. And you'd always think with these players, they're never going to be that good because that's just the way it works. Like, you hype somebody and then sometimes they just fall apart. But he, lad, he's just seeming like he has got that class about him that's different. Like Trent, like them different players, they're not just good at the game, lad. They add something. They've got something else to the game, lad. And it epitomised it to me against Leicester. There was a little join-up play that he'd done a few of them yet, but there was one where he was just bum, bum, bum. He'd done a little Cruyff thing, done a little back heel thing to one of the players, and it was just seamless. Seems like he belongs there already, lad. So I am excited to see how he develops, you know, lad, like properly as a Scouser as well, lad. Yeah, it warms me heart, lad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Curtis Jones for me has to start this one. Darren, we've got Ginny, we've got Curtis. Who else gets in there for you?
I would have loved to see Shaq, but we don't know what the situation is there again. Again, nothing official. Is it? Yeah, I didn't hear that. I suppose. I suppose it's going to have to be James Milner.
Yeah, it's got to be Milner in the middle there. I think he's a dead start almost for tomorrow night. James Milner racked up so many Champions League appearances for Liverpool. Actually has the record still for the most assists in a Champions League campaign. Big up James Milner. I think he got 10 assists in the 17-18 season. Unreal. Samuel Jones is a baller. Put Doyle at centre-back at the moment. We won't have any CBs. Listen, if there's going to be a CB out of me and Doyle, it's me, mate. Doyle's just a bit more forward, to be fair. Have some respect.
I'm a CDM, lad. I can't get in that midfield, unfortunately. So
Go, pal. Milner playing 2 back-to-back games is a guarantee hamstring injury. Locked in your squad. No need to unlock it. I'm not sure if there's anyone who's fit and probably doesn't pick up as many injuries. It's James Milner, trust me. My starting 11, play all the youngsters, play Jota and Salah. Samuel here talking about Curtis Jones saying future captain. Jones is Gerrard remastered, future captain. And Jones lives in Pickford's head rent-free, absolutely. David here saying, let Ginny rest. And Gopal saying, no Milner, please. Yesterday fit until the captain returns. Well, I'm pretty sure playing football keeps you fit. So let's throw him in that lineup tomorrow. And then up front, lads, I mean, Jota is a starter. Salah's a starter, surely.
Yep.
And Mane, do we tuck him in as well?
No. I think we put Bobby in, lad. Give Mane a rest, lad. He hasn't had a rest. Salah, I think what you said is spot on about Salah. He wants to play every game. Plus, he's just been chilling for 2 weeks with coronavirus, lad. So he's rested.
For a match now,
you know what I mean? So,
I think Salah is definitely rejuvenated, isn't he? We've seen him at the wedding and he missed the international. And look, he's going to be dying to get back. I'd like to see Taki starting Minamino. I don't think we've seen a lot of him. And again, it's a game that like you could see Dave come into Origi. I mean, look, whatever we think of Origi, we know there's a big drop off in class. But the only way you're going to get goals or have it influences by playing. And this is the perfect game to give the likes himself a chance. If he's not going to get like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes in this game, when is he ever going to? I would love to see Minamino. I know he's highly rated. You know, I know someone that was in Japan and they were talking about when you go there, like Minamino, it's just unbelievable with the scenes for him and like he's just a god over there. And to be fair, he's come in towards lads and he started off a bit slow and then he got great when the project restart happened back in June. He was very good and he got then the goal in the Community Shield and a decent start to the season, but he's just finding it hard to get into the team. But we've seen his strengths and what he can contribute to. So personally, I think give him the number 9 role up front tomorrow. We know Bobby's not going to be there. He's done okay there, and it's again a good chance for someone else to come in and prove their worth, because you do sometimes forget about Minamino when you're talking about the teams of his quality. A player again that we brought in for little or nothing, and he's a lot to prove, I suppose, but it's hard at the moment that he's not playing game time.
Yeah. Doyle, do you think Minamino's best position is out wide, or can we see him up front tomorrow with Salah and Jota either side?
I'm not the person to ask about Minamino, lads. You know why? Because I just don't think he's that great, lad. I think he's not suited for the Premier League. That's the way I see it. He's a technical player, but he doesn't seem like he's got the power to make it in the Premier League. Like, he just... Or is the nous even sometimes to be in the right spots at the right time to score goals? The way I've seen it is we brought him in to do what Jota did, sort of, and he hasn't done that. So I'm like, watching Jota, comparing the two, he's just a backup player for me, lads. I'm not disrespecting him, lads.
Yeah.
Just the way I see Minamino, mate.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think could be in with a start tomorrow, though. So I think up front we are going to go with Minamino, Salah and Jota to start tomorrow night. And then obviously we'll see the likes of Origi probably come on as well. A quick video here just into us, hot off the press at the Kop TV. Let's get a video looking at this. There you go then. Literally filmed, was that today?
Well, after you've just played that video, my sound has just went off again. So all I can say is it must have been that silky lad that it's broke everything. So it speaks for itself, doesn't it?
I'll take you out and put you back in. Can you definitely not hear us?
I've actually put a few clips of the freestyle that Doyle's doing on the you know that Doyle. I've put a few clips of you, shared a few of your clips on Instagram, and a couple of people are very impressive. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mustered all right. You're good, and a few female admirers too. So big up on
you. Show more ladies, lad. That's what I'm interested in. Let's show the ladies.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Freestyle's one of them, and it's the same with anything, boys. And I'll say it about anything, and I teach this in schools. If you practice something enough and you give something enough hours, you're gonna be good at it. It's just a skill. So anybody that's watching now that wants to maybe do freestyle or wants to do anything in particular, I encourage you just to go at it and do it. I started by just going to a park on my own, literally on my Todd, as a grown man, just kicking a football on my own. And eventually you start to fall in love with the progress and the passion and, you know, the process of development, and you see a different side of yourself and you can grow in your own passion. So I follow football not only because, you know, I support Liverpool, but because genuinely it makes me happy. So I play football every day. That's what I've been doing today. That's what I do all the time. So yeah, I encourage you to follow your passion, guys, because all it does is bring happiness. And if it doesn't, it's not your passion. So find something else. Simple as that, lads.
Anfield Talk says, fair enough, Doyle, just enough to get in the reserves. Samuel says, Doyle, relax,
that's not me, lad.
Available, tell Klopp. Some great ones there, to be fair. But no, listen, lads, obviously this tomorrow night's game is going to be different to other home Champions League games that we've had. There's a lot less pressure on, but there's a lot more pressure on the players who are stepping in to fill a role. So going to be a good one. Diego says Doyle is only doing it for the ladies.
He's on to me, lad. He's on to me, lad.
That's exactly what he does before.
Very good.
The double D combo, you can't beat it. Absolutely. Nice second, Doyle.
Nice one, guys. Thank you very much, guys.
Listen, and there is a lot more of that in our new show that me and Doyle will be presenting together, Kop Bins. But then there's also this one that is coming to your screens this Thursday. Get a look at this, lads. Kop to Bottom, the Premier League preview show. As you can see, freestyle DM, myself and James Redmond. Obviously, Darren will be getting involved later on down the line with this one as well. So make sure Thursday at 4 o'clock. Was it 4, Doyle?
Yeah,
it was 4, was it?
4 o'clock Thursday.
4 o'clock Thursday. We're going to be pressing play on the first ever Kop to Bottom. We're going to be reviewing some big Premier League games, and it's going to be a laugh as well, not just Liverpool. Something for everyone. as well there. My passion led me to a stint in Her Majesty's pleasure for 2 years. Follow your legal passion.
Good point.
I'd encourage
To
you
be
to do
fair.
one. Like, it'll probably be a longer passion if you do it that way. You'll be able to
My
prolong it a lot
passion
better.
led me to a stint. Thought he was going to say something really sick then, but made me laugh, to be fair. Nuclear Atoms, obviously very excited about from Kop to bottom. I would be too. It's going to be a great one. Samuel says, most important thing about these Italian teams is that we keep the intensity. Absolutely. It's something that they don't like, something that, let's be honest, a lot of Italians have made it in the Premier League, of course, but a lot haven't as well. You look at the likes of Fabio Barini, maybe a little bit too weak. Alberto Aquilani didn't really make it. Balotelli's obviously faded away. So intensity will be key for sure. Kop to bottom looks good. Of course it does. Right, lads, I see we both back here tomorrow for fan cams after the Atalanta game. 8 o'clock kickoff at Anfield. Quick, before we go, predictions all round. I'm going 3-0 Liverpool.
Go ahead, Darren. You can go first, lads.
Very tough one to call, obviously, with the team selection and all that and what's on the line. I seen something today, lads. The last time we beat an Italian side back-to-back in a group stage, I don't want to quote this, I think it was Inter Milan, and it might have been in the 60s, 65. So, I mean, wow. there's a lot on line tomorrow. So, I'm going to go with 2-1. I'm going to go with a bit of an adventurous game. I think they're going to come at us. Look, we embarrassed them the last time. There was no way any of us predicted we were going to go there and beat them 5-0. They're going to come out tomorrow. They need a win more than us. They need something from it. I'll give them the goal and we get 2. So 2-1 Liverpool tomorrow, hopefully. And no injuries, of course. That's the big thing.
I reckon it's going to be like 3-1, 4-1, lad. They're too slow. Their defenders are slugs, like they are. And when you've got Salah, and Jota running at
like you.
What, lads? I'm speedy, me, you know. Hey, Jota and Salah running at you is just going to end them. So I think they're going to get goals. I think, who was the lad that played up front for them? What was his name?
The Colombian striker.
He hit the post.
Zapata or something.
Yeah, he'll probably score because he had a few chances last game. Other than that, we're gonna win.
Yeah, he talked them up actually the last time, didn't he? And he was made his words 5-0. Like, doesn't get worse than that when you talk your chances up.
You know what that reminds me of, Darren? That reminds me of when Clinton Morrison, do you remember, he spoke out about Michael Owen before an FA Cup game in the year 2000. And then what happens on the night? Clinton Morrison misses a sitter. Owen scored a hat-trick. So,
that's right,
and we went on to win the League Cup that year as well. So, yeah, it can be.
Yeah, it can be.
Come back and bite you. You don't want to say too much before it finishes.
I suppose that's the good thing with Jurgen Klopp and this Liverpool team. They don't get carried away or that, and they don't talk bad about anyone. It's all respect.
Well,
and
I'll get carried away for them.
Yeah, we can do it here.
No problem.
Doyle could run his mouth. Question here for Gopal. Doyle, would you be surprised if Zapata gives the post man of the match? Because he did hit the post and the bar last time.
He was unlucky, lads. He had that shot, didn't he? That it literally hit the post and the bar. And he had a few chances where he just didn't score. So he'll be hungry to slot a goal past Alisson. We'll see if he can do it this time, lads. He should be able to because he's a decent little player. We'll see.
But let's hopefully not, because he's on the other team against us, Doyle.
Yeah,
so
we're going to win, lads. We're going to win, bro. Don't worry. We're going to win.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Diego Crystal Palace says, I remember my Clinton Morrison versus Michael Owen. Yeah, it's a great story, that one, to be fair. Right, lads, big one tomorrow then. Let's reconvene here after full time. 3-0. Darren's going with 2-1. Doyle's going with 4-1. That's our predictions. We'll see you again. I'll see you again in an hour, because I've only got bloody Rory Jennings on the top of the Kops this week. So very looking forward to that one. But yes, I will see you two, you lovely ladies and men, of course, as well. And the Double D partnership, I'll see you after the game tomorrow. Take care, lads. Thank you.
Cheers, Alex. See you, Doyle. All the best, lads. Take care.
See you later.
Cheers, lads.